gonna see it through. You want spotless, I'll always lose. Don't want love, I want the truth.
For about the first week that a new horse is a wild child, our main priority is to get them accustomed to the new environment. We introduce them to their new routine. We slowly introduce them to their herd mates, and we just want to make sure that they are settling in all right. Every morning we put on fly masks, and every evening we take off fly masks. I feel that this is super important, especially for the horses that are a little bit flighty and nervous, because what this does is this shows them that sometimes we just want to come up to them, say hello, and leave. We're not asking anything of them. We're not wanting them to work or anything like that. You can see here that Toast is a little bit nervous every time I go to approach him. He kind of takes a few steps, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an exercise called creating draw. What I'm going to do is I'm going to approach Toast, and then I'm going to release pressure when he looks at me. So you'll see here that he's backing up and he's really not too sure. He turns that butt to me, and my goal here is just to get him to look at me. I want him to look at me so that he can recognize that I really don't want to hurt him, I don't want much of him, and that the second he acknowledges my presence, I retreat and I back away and release that pressure, because in this moment, I am the pressure. Once he grows more comfortable with me approaching, then I'm going to increase the criteria and give him a little pet. Then I'm going to release that pressure yet again. Eventually, the goal with creating draw is to encourage Toast to take a step towards me. We did not get to that point today, so really it was just a lot of approach and retreat. You'll see right here he doesn't like that I'm trying to pet him with a fly mask over my wrist, but eventually we start getting him more comfortable with that as well. Again, it can be a very long, time-consuming process. This is where patience is super important along with repetition. You'll see here that I finally am able to get that fly mask on very carefully and very slowly. Now that I've achieved that goal of getting the fly mask on for the day, now I'm going to start slowly introducing him to the other horses. I start introducing new horses to each other by putting them in a pen so that there is a fence between them. Within this time, they can get to know each other through the fence. This kind of keeps fights to a minimum, and they can just slowly get to know each other. Because Toast was in that fenced area all night, I am going to let him out of his pen for about 2 or 3 hours. I'm going to be very closely monitoring him. This way he can start to get more face-to-face with these horses. He's not just seeing them through a fence, but he can actually start to interact. And there's going to be some scuffles. There's going to be some issues, but that's just how it is. At first, he doesn't want to exit the pen, and so I'm just going to try and encourage him out. At the end of the day, he needs turnout. I just have to make sure that it's very monitored at the beginning. Everybody seemed to get along with Toast fairly well. My big draft horse, Legend, was like super interested. Legend is a big puppy dog. He wants to be everybody else's friend, but not everybody wants to be his, unfortunately. So he just followed Mr. Toast around, and Toast seemed absolutely okay with it. There were no scuffles there, so I was very, very proud of that. Within about an hour, Toast and my boss's horse, Strider, became like the best of friends, and I was so happy to see that Toast had at least made some sort of a companion to help during this transition. Because Toast and the herd got used to each other pretty quickly, I just left him out for the remainder of the day. When it came time for evening feed, I came in and I started doing what I do with a lot of skittish horses or unhandled horses. Is I come in here, I halter them, I start petting them, I start giving them all kinds of love and attention just so that they know I'm not a threat. The halter does not mean we have to work. Sometimes the halter just means we get nice, lots of love, scratches, and things that they enjoy. Then I took off his fly mask, refilled everybody's hay feeders, and then I did another exercise that I tend to do with every unhandled skittish horse that comes through my doors, and just sit with him. You'll see here that he's not really interested in eating from his hay feeder. That's the big tire, because I'm sitting right there, and that's okay. Ultimately, I want him to associate me with pleasurable stimuli such as food, but we are just getting started, and so if I'm just sitting here in his presence, he can continue to realize that I am not a threat, and I am just here to help him. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this YouTube video. Before we close off, I'd like to give you a friendly reminder that all of the content you see is funded by myself. I like to be able to provide you guys with educational content, answer your training questions, and show you all kinder ways of handling horses because I feel it is incredibly beneficial to both horses and humans. I like to offer this at absolutely no cost to you guys because the world is so expensive right now, and I truly just want to help you and your horse succeed while advocating for kinder, more humane methods within the industry. However, if you would like to help support the sanctuary horses or all of the materials and things needed to create and edit this content, I have a list of ways that you can donate. There's absolutely no obligation at all. I am not a registered nonprofit. I am an LLC who is just trying to make a living, educate others, and make a better world for the horses we all love so much. So don't forget to hit the red subscribe button. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, our podcast, and the many other things that we have to offer you guys. Stay strong, stay true, stay wild, and I'll see y'all next time.